May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be free from harm. May all beings love life. May all beings awaken. Welcome to another episode of Life in Bali. The one day a week we get to take a respite from all that Zen nonsense. I pray that you and yours are safe and comfortable and free from economic hardship and able to get out and do whatever it is you want within the limitations of the universal precept of do as little harm as possible. So once again, we have no guest. We'll have a guest again, but as I keep saying week after week, I don't want to spend the time on it. I'm busily working on stuff I've already talked about, getting an audiobook ready for Crooked Cucumber. Oh, another one of those things that now I can see how to do it all much better and more efficiently. But, first time you do something, it's really not the first. I made an audiobook of my my novel To Find the Girl from Perth, which, is a print-on-demand book that I did 13 years ago for fun. And I don't know what that sounds like. I haven't. I think I'd have to do it again, which I may do. All right. So what's happening here in Bali? Well, we've got this work going on to build a guest room. It's a room for visiting family is what it is. We have this tiny little guest room I've turned into a studio, and we realized, we need a guest room. And then one of our future guests forked up some loot to make it possible. So that's great. And that's coming along really fast. Dare I venture the bold statement that I think it might come in sooner than was forecast, or maybe on time. Not that much left to do. Amazing. Pretty simple, straightforward, basic, cheap, modern type construction. Not your beautiful, old, traditional Bali buildings, or like the modern bamboo ones that are cool, or there's Chris, who owns Power of Now Yoga down on the beach. He had some dudes from, I guess, Java come in and build a pavilion out of wood. It is lovely, lovely woodwork. It's for yoga, and he's got a bamboo yoga studio. I mean, it's 2-story. It's gorgeous. But we don't have his budget. And also, the maintenance on those things. I mean, this is termite city here. One thing we're going to have to do when this construction is all done, it's pretty much done now, maybe we can call them in, is termite. Treat the house for termites so it doesn't just collapse on itself. Hate to do that. But the thing, I checked with the Fami, this architect I know from Java. He turned his son to a guy who was with a company that does that. And the thing I was afraid about was it hurting or killing the chachak. And the chachak or chichak are little tiny gecko that are, little lizards that are all over the house. They don't bother either. They're great. They hide behind pictures in the walls, and they eat little insects and things, and they're a blessing to have. And they're wonderful. It's not, and we'll have gecko too. out there. Well, gecko can get pretty loud. They're really something. They're bigger. We don't have a super loud one. When I was at the last retreat I went to in Singaraj, a Vipassana retreat, where I slept was right below this big picture that had really big gecko under it. And it would let out, it's like a banshee's croon. That's from an Irish folk song. I mean, just decibel level, you're just shocking. You can probably just Google it, listen to gecko, but you'd have to get some wall of sound, Grateful Dead speakers to get it as loud as they do. Wow. Anyway, Fami said, no, it won't kill the gecko. It'll kill the termites, though I'm very sorry. I don't like doing that. It'd be better just to rebuild, Let them eat it and rebuild. That's what we do with our bamboo fence up front. Anyway, okay, so one wonderful thing that has happened recently is one by one everybody's been getting vaccinated. Because I think, as I've already mentioned, we live in a green zone and of Sanur, and they wanted everybody to get vaccinated. They mandated that everybody get vaccinated. I don't think they're going to check up on it. But so all the Bule, the foreigners, and one by one they were getting it. And now almost, I don't know anybody that hadn't except for Manea, my American monk friend who's anti-vax, and not much of that here. Our landlord and his sons have had. Anybody that works with tourists or foreigners can get it quicker. But everybody's getting it. And then a wonderful thing, our housekeeper's gotten it. And then Yoman, the bimo driver, like a little Volkswagen bus with the side soap who takes us around all the time. He hadn't had it, and I started, saying, come on. We thought it had all run out. Monday, I went to the nearby hospital. I went to several places, got on the phone, I was doing stuff on the internet. It's all out. Everybody said it's out. We got to wait for more to come from India, the AstraZeneca. And then a few days later, Nyoman says, oh, yeah, my arm's a little sore. Why? Oh, because I got vaccinated yesterday or 2 days ago. Whoa, that is great. So, and then our Modique, plumbers, electricians, they've been vaccinated. They're doing a lot of electrical work around here because of this. So that left Cardino, the contractor, and his guys. They're all from Java. Modique, plumbers, electricians, they're all from Java. All the guys that work on the home are from Java. They always are. And the artisans, like if you want, like Monet, Monet had this incredible palace built where he lives. And he hired just the finest artisans to do sculpting, a lot of really traditional stuff, combining it with modern. And it'll just be a gift to his the family that takes care of him out in Batu Bulan. Oh my God! His landlord is Wayan, who's a driver, has a nice little villa there, and he was driving Katrinka and me to look for. We're looking. We don't want to the bed that we have in the guest room here. We don't want to move it into that's now my studio. We don't want to move it into the guest room. I guess we want to give it away or sell it, or we never sell anything. We want a couch that opens up to a bed. That's a very hard thing to do well. Anyway, we're looking into that. And lighting, we were looking into what sort of lights to get. We figured the lights out. That was great. And the guy at this big home store, really big, they had these couches that opened up into beds, but they weren't quite right for us. We didn't like them. So he gave me the number of a guy who makes them and who does service for them. And so we've talked to him. But anyway, point I was getting at is Wayan, Monea's landlord, drove us there. And he's been around the house. You know, they're here once a week. And he said, you know, these guys from Java, they just do such incredible work with plastering and all that. It's so smooth. It's so professional. Balinese don't do that. It's all lumpy and everything when they do it. I said, yeah, but they do. If you want something artistic, they'll do it. He said, yeah, that's right. So, yeah, I was watching, you know, I don't know his name, a guy who does the tile work here for Cardino, who I've known for 7 years, the contractor, over 7 years. He, just watching how careful he is. I mean, he'll spend minutes on one square of tile, you know, making sure it's set well. And I'll watch him tamping it with the wood handle end of a hammer, just very patiently, very concentrated. Yeah, I really admire them as workers. They really know how to concentrate and work fast, and they're not trying to get anywhere else or do anything else. They're just doing it. They are the perfect example of the Jesuit motto, do what you're doing, which is, you know, very Zen too. Anyway, so that's what's happening there. I'm thinking of designing a couch bed. Now, when I tell Katrinka that, she'll think, she will not be impressed. But anyway, I've got some ideas based on the bed we have here that we didn't want to move in there because it takes up too much room. And because it's not going to be used as a guest room very much. It's going to be like a study or something. So anyway, we'll see what happens there. Hey, so I want to tell you something that, I was telling you about everybody getting vaccinated. Everybody. Oh, yeah. Oh, I didn't tell you the exciting thing. Well, exciting to me anyway is I said, yo, man, what? You got vaccinated? I thought it was all gone. There wasn't any anyway. He said, oh, yeah, there's this place over, near where I live, the community center, the Bonchar or something. Yeah. And I said, oh, God, do you think there's any way Cardino and those guys, I mean, I had arranged for Cardino and the guys who were working here to get vaccinated. Well, I just had our housekeeper go check. It was a nearby place here. She thought it would all work out. And they went there and they said, no, you need a letter showing that you're working here. And so it fell through. But I really wanted them to get vaccinated because they're working here. I just want them to because I care about them. And so Yoman said, hey, they can get there. He said, I said, no, they're Javanese. Their identity card is from Java. He said, it doesn't matter. All sorts of Javanese were coming in and getting it. I said, really? Yeah? And I had, Cadet, come here, housekeeper, right? Listen to what he's saying. I said, you believe him? Do you agree? You think it's, she says, yeah, I think it sounds good. It sounds good. There's a little doubt in my mind, but I think it. So anyway, I talked to Cardino, and all he thinks about is work. I say, look, it's really important. I want you and the guys, I want you all to get vaccinated. Listen to what Yoman has to say. So he says it. So I said, all right. So then Cardino says, all right, we'll take off. And I wanted him to do it Saturday and then have Sunday to recover, And no, he said, we'll take off Friday. And we'll be gone Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Wow, really? 3 days off? We usually just have 1 day off. Wow, great. I thought that's cool, And, but then today he explained, today I mentioned 3 times to them about getting vaccinated, and the guys who are with him, I mean, they could care less, really. I think it just means nothing to them. But I've impressed it on Cardino. He's older. probably younger than me, but he's older. And I said, I want everybody who works here to be vaccinated. And so I said, what's, one of them said, well, they're taking off Friday, they can be back Saturday. And then I reminded him about the vaccination. He went, oh, yeah. And I said, what is Friday a holiday? And then he puts his hand down by his lower abdomen and goes around and says, what do you say about cutting here? I said, oh, he's talking about circumcision. They have these circumcision ceremonies. And I said, oh, what do you call it? And what did he say? I can remember. It's Sunat. I'm going to remember that. Sunat. Oh, so everybody works with them, their family. They have a big Sunat ceremony tomorrow. Mudik's son had a Sunat, and it took him forever to heal from it. It was really scary. I hate that. I hate circumcision. My sons are not circumcised. I was, and it's never, it's been fine, but it's just unnecessary, I think. All right. So anyway, we're really happy about Cardino. And those guys getting it tomorrow. Yes, right. Please do it, Cardino. The guy who brings the coconuts here twice a week, he's been vaccinated. That was great to hear. It's everybody. It's just happening so quick. It was just like a few days ago, it seemed like nobody was vaccinated. Now all of a sudden everybody is. It's great. And opens up 2 big green coconuts. And, we get the meat from it and we get the water from it, the coconut water. It's so great. He's a guy who lost his job because of the pandemic. And so he picked up doing that. And so we wanted to help him out. And it's great having it delivered twice a week. What do we get? We get, I don't know how much, about a liter, like twice a week. And coconut water doesn't last. I mean, and having it fresh is, there's no comparison. You either have it fresh like that, or there's nothing close to that. And it's our favorite drink, both of us. Drink a lot of it. It's great. And they say it's full of, what are those things? It's full of minerals. No, it's full of nutrient. Oh, I can't remember what it's called. Something like, I get a vision of electrical nutrients. Something like micro or something, I forget. All right, it's full of all that. I remembered electrolytes. Yay. Anyway, I wanted to say one thing about that. When we're in the beach, sometimes we'll sit down at a place. Well, we almost always sit at the same place at Genius. And we won't really want anything. We just want to sit there and use it as a home base to go swimming and walk around and work on the computer. And we might get an hors d'oeuvre or something small. But if we don't want anything else, we'll get coconut water. And they bring it in the big old coconuts. And those things are heavy. And I figured, there'll be a coconut, and they'll put it on the table in front of you with these straws, not plastic straws. I sit with my legs crossed usually, and so I pick mine up and bring it to me, and I figure this is the heaviest cup in the world. What could match it? I mean, it's really heavy. And, I just thought that was worth mentioning. And I do now. I think when I get it, I go, this is the heaviest cup in the world. I want to tell you something that happened to me down at the beach. So we were, we'd like to go there within a few hours of high tide. Best within 2 hours well, it depends on how high the tide is. Sometimes within 3 hours will be fine. Or I don't know. It's weird. Sometimes I can't figure out why there's so much water when I thought the tide was going to be out. But anyway, even if the tide is way out, and we swim inside the reef. It's a very, very, very big area inside the reef. And if it's too low, you can, on a super low, you can walk across the other side. With the water being, just in little pools around you and stuff. But even if it's fairly low and it doesn't look like there's anywhere you can swim, I know there's a place over, like in front of Genius over there that where I can usually swim when it's real low other places. But sometimes another thing is that there will be a current going to the side, and I like to swim against the current. Sometimes it'll be perfect. I will stay in the same place and I'll be swimming. And if you go against the current, you get more exercise quicker. It's fun. It's fun different ways. And so sometimes it's fun to go with the current. If it's going down the way Katrinka walks like a kilometer down and back, and then I start swimming. And I love it when there's a current going down there, and I'll start swimming toward it. I go way down and meet her way down there. And I get out pretty far. That's fun. So it was a pretty low tide, so I went down there. But the thing was, it didn't really work. It was too low. I was just swimming in seaweed, and it was like really heavy seaweed, and it's a little creepy and gross and slimy and stuff. And I'm a little negative about it because there's this yellow and black snake. They're pretty long. They can be like 3 feet long, meter long, maybe even longer. And they're like the most poisonous snake in the world. There's one of those things like, they can't bite you though. It's very hard. They'd have to get you between the fingers or like the bottom of your earlobe because their mouth's so small. So nobody ever gets bitten by them, or you don't hear about it. But I've seen them, I'll be there and I'll see them down in the seaweed and I go, and so I think about that. And I always swim with my fingers closed. I don't open you should anyway, probably, right? But I purposely, they're tightly closed. Because I imagine just opening them up and just had that perfect moment where the snake, I don't know what type of snake, I don't know what to call them. Its little tiny mouth gets right in there between my little finger and my fourth finger. And that's it. Curtains. So anyway, I'm swimming down there, and I have to swim on my back. Because if I swim on my back, then my hands are just like oars, And I'm swimming through this like mush of seaweed and everything, and I go down, but what I liked about it is it took a lot of effort because there was so much resistance from the seaweed. So after a while, I figured, oh my God, I'm puffing and panting. That's enough exercise. And I went in, and even to come back into shore took a while. And I get back in and I stand up. Oh, there's all this seaweed on me, little pieces and stuff. And I'm throwing it off. And it's like little tiny strings. And I think, oh, those are little tiny black slimy seaweed strings. And, but they're a little hard to get off. I couldn't just brush. I had to pick them off one by one. Because if I brushed them, they just stay there. And then I looking at them going down in the water, and I think, oh, is that one moving, or is that like a little current in the water's moving it? Oh no. Oh, these are worms. And I don't know. I've Googled it. I can't find it. I've got to ask Sarah. our friend who's, been here like 15 years and is a diver. She'll know. Anyway, so then I figure, oh, these are little worms. And then, so I get them all up. I don't feel any on my back. Maybe there's some there where I can't reach. And so I think they're all up. And then I look down and there's more on my thigh. They're coming out of my underwear. I swim in my underwear. Unless there's a lot of people there. It's sort of brief. So it looks like a European swimsuit. And I come down in a swimsuit and I take the swimsuit off to go swimming. And so they're coming out. And so, it's getting to be sort of horror movie quality experience, except I really wasn't horrified. But I thought, it reminds me of the African Queen. Humphrey Bogart and, wasn't that Catherine Hepburn and Humphrey Bogart and the African Queen? And they're in this lake in Africa, and at some point he's out pulling the boat through some marsh or swamp, and he gets back on and he's covered with leeches, and he's like, scream, horrible, get him off. And that's what it reminded me of. So, and then when Katrinka came, I told her about it, and she said, well, David, they're still coming out. So eventually I got them all. So, hey, so that's what it's like living in Bali. I'm not a very good travelogue because recently, anyway, not getting out anywhere. And we could hire, it costs money, we could hire a driver and go somewhere there's nobody there. There's some places we can go, and there's places that are open that would love to have us, and they are cheaper. Because they're dying for business. But what I really value about being here is I don't have to do anything. There's just so little I have to do. And I can just work and have this very simple life and walk down to the beach. And I worked so much that when I get out, it all looks new, and it's great. And walking down the street, like, it always seems sort of new and great. Oh, this is interesting. And the beach is, I go once, twice a week. It's just great. And that's what I like. I really don't have to do anything else, but we will. But if you just do special stuff a little bit, then it's really special. Okay, well, that's enough. That gives you a view of what it's like in Bali for me. If you were here, you'd have a totally different experience. But I'll tell you, all right, what is my favorite thing about Bali? It's the people. And it's not just the Balinese, not just the Hindus. It's just Indonesians. Very nice relating with them. And I'm not interested in in-depth anything. I just like relating to people, just in simple, everyday stuff, I've decided, I've realized I'm superficial. That's how I just want to be superficial. I'm living on the surface. This is all superficial. This is it. I don't need anything else. Anyway, that's what's occurred to me today. All right, hey. This has been another Cuke audio podcast. I'm DC Poohbah of Cuke Audio and Cuke Archives, coming to you from Sleepy Sanur with Doggett Bandita, Feline Cuchita, and dear, lovely Katrinka, who's at Alice's. But she'll be back Saturday. And we're wishing you and yours and all of us a grand awakening.